What if the history we've been taught only scratches the surface of a much deeper and more complex past? Imagine ancient artifacts and fossils being uncovered that don't fit within the established timeline of human evolution. These discoveries, instead of revolutionizing our understanding, are often dismissed, ignored, or labeled as mistakes. In Forbidden Archaeology, Michael A. Cremo and Richard L. Thompson reveal an astonishing collection of evidence that challenges everything we think we know about our origins. Could it be that the real story of humanity has been hidden in plain sight? Is it possible that humans have existed far longer than mainstream science claims? And if so, why are these findings rejected or hidden from public discussion? The authors propose that many artifacts and fossils don't align with the accepted narrative of human evolution. These objects suggest advanced civilizations or human-like beings existing millions of years ago, far earlier than current theories allow. If such evidence is authentic, could it completely overturn our understanding of where we came from? According to Cremo and Thompson, the implications are profound, pointing to a history of humanity that has been intentionally overlooked. The book presents cases of artifacts discovered in geological layers that, by conventional dating methods, are millions of years old. For instance, ancient tools, metallic objects, and even skeletal remains have been found embedded in rock strata that predate modern humanity. Such findings are often dismissed as anomalies or misinterpretations, but the sheer number of these discoveries raises questions that cannot be ignored. Why are these pieces of evidence excluded from mainstream scientific discourse? Are they merely inconvenient truths, or do they point to an entirely different narrative of human history? This exploration of forbidden evidence forces us to confront the limitations of established science. The implications stretch beyond archaeology and anthropology, touching on how knowledge is controlled and disseminated. Could it be that our current understanding of evolution and civilization is just one version of the truth? These hidden discoveries suggest that humanity's story is far older, more intricate, and potentially more extraordinary than we've ever imagined. As we begin to unravel this suppressed history, prepare to question the very foundations of what we believe about our place in the world. Throughout history, certain discoveries have emerged that seem impossible to explain within the framework of accepted science. Tools crafted with precision, metallic objects embedded in ancient rock formations, and fossils found in layers far older than humans are believed to have existed. These artifacts are not just peculiar, they are game-changing. They demand answers to questions that mainstream science struggles to address. Could these items represent the work of advanced beings? Or do they hint at a vastly extended timeline for human history, one that contradicts everything we have been taught? One of the most puzzling discoveries involves so-called impossible artifacts. For instance, metallic spheres with precise grooves were found in South African mines within rock layers over 2 billion years old. How could objects with such refined shapes exist in an era predating humanity by such an unimaginable span of time? Similarly, reports of human-like footprints preserved in strata millions of years older than the earliest hominids challenge the standard evolutionary timeline. These findings cannot be easily dismissed as coincidences or geological anomalies. Instead, they suggest that either our understanding of history is incomplete or that unknown forces were at play in shaping these objects. Equally baffling are fossilized remains that defy placement within any known evolutionary sequence. Bones and tools discovered in unexpected geological contexts suggest that human ancestors, or perhaps entirely different species with advanced capabilities, existed long before modern theories would allow. While critics claim these findings result from misinterpretation or contamination, the sheer volume of similar reports worldwide points to a pattern too significant to ignore. But why would such groundbreaking discoveries be excluded from mainstream narratives? The reasons are as complex as the evidence itself. Some researchers argue that these findings disrupt deeply entrenched scientific paradigms, creating resistance to change. Others suggest that admitting to such evidence would require rewriting history books, reassessing current theories, and confronting uncomfortable truths about humanity's origins. What emerges from these anomalies is a picture of a past far more intricate than the linear progression from primitive ancestors to modern humans. The evidence hints at a history that includes advanced knowledge, forgotten civilizations, or even influences beyond our current understanding. Each artifact and fossil is a clue, a piece of a puzzle that, when assembled, could reveal a story of humanity that is stranger and more remarkable than we ever imagined. Over the years, discoveries that challenge mainstream narratives have been met with resistance, skepticism, or outright dismissal. Reports of tools, artifacts, and skeletal remains found in layers of rock millions of years older than conventional timelines suggest are often treated as errors or outliers. This raises a critical question. Why is evidence that doesn't align with established theories so often ignored or buried? The reasons extend beyond science, touching on human nature, institutional rigidity, and the fear of the unknown. Among the most puzzling cases are stone tools found in strata that predate humanity's supposed emergence. In one instance, perfectly shaped stone spheres were recovered from deep within ancient geological layers, implying not only intelligence but also skill in craftsmanship. These objects are accompanied by other findings, such as metal implements discovered embedded in coal deposits. Such artifacts, formed millions of years before modern humans, defy simple explanations. If these objects are authentic, their implications stretch beyond conventional archaeology into realms that challenge our deepest assumptions about time, evolution, and civilization. The resistance to acknowledging these discoveries is not just a matter of scientific caution. Paradigms in science function as frameworks for understanding the world, and challenging these paradigms can unsettle the foundational beliefs of entire fields. Accepting these anomalies as legitimate would not only force a re-evaluation of human history, but also destabilize concepts central to biology, anthropology, and geology. The cost of such upheaval explains, in part, why these findings are relegated to the margins of discussion. However, questions persist. Could these objects have been created by a civilization that predates recorded history? Or do they point to unknown branches of the evolutionary tree, forgotten by time? Attempts to dismiss them as hoaxes or misinterpretations often fail to address the meticulous nature of the discoveries. The precision and context of many artifacts make accidental formation or contamination improbable. Each piece of evidence represents a fragment of a larger, hidden narrative. Together, they suggest the possibility of cycles of advanced civilizations rising and falling, lost to time yet leaving behind traces that defy explanation. These clues not only challenge our understanding of history, but also invite us to consider the possibility of forces or knowledge far beyond what we currently comprehend. Throughout the world, a collection of enigmatic objects defies conventional explanations. Known as out-of-place artifacts, these items are found in contexts that suggest they were created long before humanity was thought to possess advanced skills or even exist. Such artifacts are not limited to one location or culture but appear globally, challenging the idea that human history followed a singular, linear path of development. These findings suggest an alternative view, the possibility of forgotten technologies or civilizations lost in the vastness of time. In the depths of mines, spheres with precise grooves have been discovered in geological layers over 2 billion years old. These spheres are made of metal that is resistant to natural erosion, raising questions about their origin. Near them, other objects hint at intricate craftsmanship, suggesting they were not accidents of nature but intentional creations. Likewise, a metallic hammer embedded in stone estimated to be over 100 million years old was found in Texas. An anomaly so stark, it cannot be reconciled to conventional timeline of human evolution. Some of the most provocative examples involve footprints fossilized in layers of rock predating humanity by millions of years. These impressions are anatomically consistent with modern human feet, leaving scientists to wonder how they could exist in such ancient strata. Nearby, artifacts resembling tools and ornaments add further intrigue, as their presence implies not just existence but a degree of sophistication. If these objects are authentic, they suggest not only an advanced civilization but one that existed far earlier than our current models of history allow. Explanations for these anomalies vary. Skeptics often attribute them to misinterpretation, geological processes, or outright fabrication. Yet, for each dismissed case, others emerge that challenge these conventional explanations. The consistency of similar findings across continents suggests a pattern rather than isolated incidents. If they are genuine, these artifacts indicate that humanity's history is not just older but far more complex than previously understood. These mysteries compel us to question the completeness of the historical record. Could these artifacts represent remnants of a forgotten epoch? Do they suggest the existence of advanced cultures that rose and fell long before our earliest records? Whatever the answers, these discoveries demand an open-minded examination, offering a tantalizing glimpse into a history that may stretch far beyond what we have imagined. The existence of artifacts and fossils that contradict accepted timelines poses a profound challenge to scientific paradigms. These frameworks, while essential for organizing knowledge, can also act as barriers to new ideas. When evidence surfaces that doesn't fit the established model, it is often dismissed or ignored, not necessarily because it lacks merit, but because it threatens the stability of long-held beliefs. This raises an important question. How much of what we know is shaped by the limitations of current theories rather than by the evidence itself? Artifacts found in layers of rock millions of years older than humanity's presumed existence are clear examples of this tension. Such discoveries are often excluded from mainstream discussions, not because they have been definitively proven false, but because they disrupt the prevailing narrative. The scientific method, in theory, encourages open inquiry and adaptation in the face of new evidence. Yet, in practice, the process is deeply influenced by institutional norms, funding priorities, and a reluctance to revisit foundational assumptions. Fossilized remains, tools, and objects crafted with apparent precision demand explanations that go beyond coincidence. If these findings are legitimate, they suggest that our understanding of evolution and technological development may be incomplete. Consider ancient metallic objects discovered in coal deposits or footprints embedded in ancient rock. Each discovery raises questions about the historical context in which they could exist. For these to align with mainstream science, entirely new frameworks of thought would be required. The reluctance to accept these anomalies is not purely academic. Revising humanity's story would necessitate a re-examination of deeply ingrained ideas about progress, intelligence, and civilization. It would force us to confront the possibility that advanced knowledge has been gained and lost multiple times in Earth's history. Such a paradigm shift would not only affect archaeology and anthropology, but could ripple through numerous other fields, from geology to physics. What emerges is a picture of science as both a tool for discovery and a gatekeeper of established truths. By excluding anomalies, we risk overlooking evidence that could revolutionize our understanding of the past. Each artifact, no matter how inconvenient it may seem, deserves careful scrutiny. It is only by remaining open to the unknown that we can hope to uncover the true scope of humanity's origins and evolution. The refusal to address evidence that contradicts established theories has far-reaching implications, not only for our understanding of history, but also for the credibility of scientific inquiry itself. By disregarding findings that challenge the accepted narrative, science risks creating an incomplete picture of humanity's past. These omissions hinder progress and prevent the development of a fuller understanding of who we are and where we come from. Institutions and researchers often cite methodological concerns or lack of reproducibility to dismiss out-of-place artifacts and fossils. While these standards are essential for maintaining scientific rigor, they are sometimes used selectively. Anomalous findings are held to higher levels of scrutiny than evidence supporting established models. This selective skepticism can lead to the exclusion of potentially transformative discoveries. When artifacts are disregarded without thorough investigation, opportunities for groundbreaking insights are lost, leaving key pieces of the puzzle unexplored. The impact of ignoring such evidence extends beyond academic circles. Public trust in science diminishes when people perceive that data contradicting mainstream views is systematically ignored or suppressed. This erosion of trust creates fertile ground for conspiracy theories and misinformation, as individuals seek alternative explanations for the gaps in the official narrative. By engaging with rather than dismissing these anomalies, science can reinforce its role as an open and objective search for truth. Findings that defy the conventional timeline also inspire philosophical and existential questions. If advanced civilizations existed long before recorded history, what might have caused their disappearance? Could humanity itself be part of a cycle of progress and collapse, repeating patterns over millennia? Addressing these questions requires not only examining the artifacts themselves, but also exploring their implications for our understanding of technological and cultural evolution. The reluctance to fully investigate these anomalies may stem from the fear of what their implications could mean. Accepting a radically different narrative of human history would challenge deeply ingrained beliefs about progress, civilization, and humanity's uniqueness. However, the pursuit of knowledge demands that we confront these possibilities head-on, regardless of how uncomfortable they may be. Only by embracing curiosity and questioning established paradigms can we hope to uncover the truth about our origins and the forces that have shaped our existence. Each unexplored anomaly is a missed opportunity to expand our understanding of the extraordinary story of life on Earth. The anomalies found in ancient artifacts and fossils may point to a profound idea that humanity's history is not linear but cyclical. Evidence suggests the possibility that advanced civilizations may have risen and fallen multiple times over the vast expanse of Earth's history. These civilizations, their knowledge, and their achievements could have been lost to catastrophic events, leaving behind only faint traces for future generations to uncover. This perspective reframes our understanding of history, suggesting that technological and cultural advancements are not unique to modern humanity, but part of recurring patterns. Many ancient cultures, from the Maya to the Vedic civilizations, speak of great cycles of time. These traditions describe ages of prosperity and decline, often punctuated by natural disasters or cosmic events. Modern archaeology often dismisses such accounts as myth. Yet the artifacts and fossils unearthed in impossible contexts hint that there may be truth behind these stories. Could these objects be remnants of past epochs, their creators lost to time and buried beneath layers of sediment, ice, or volcanic ash? The notion of lost civilizations aligns with certain geological and climate events in Earth's history. Periods of massive volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, or rapid glacial movements could have obliterated advanced societies, erasing nearly all traces of their existence. These catastrophic events could explain why so few artifacts remain, with only the most durable or buried objects surviving the passage of time. If such civilizations did exist, they might have achieved technological feats comparable to or even exceeding those of the modern era. The implications of this idea are staggering. If cycles of advancement and collapse are a natural part of human history, it raises questions about our current trajectory. Are we destined to follow a similar pattern, repeating the rise and fall of past civilizations? Or can we learn from the evidence left behind, using it to break free from the cycle? Understanding these possibilities requires an open-minded approach to the anomalies that challenge conventional theories. These artifacts are more than curiosities. They are messages from a distant past, urging us to reconsider our assumptions about progress and continuity. By piecing together the evidence, we may uncover not only a forgotten history, but also valuable lessons for humanity's future. As we reach the end of this exploration into the mysteries of our past, one thing becomes clear: the history of humanity is far more intricate and complex than we've been led to believe. What if everything we thought we knew about our origins was only a small piece of a much larger puzzle? The discoveries we've discussed today, artifacts that don't belong, fossils in impossible places, are not isolated oddities. They are fragments of a forgotten history, a history that challenges the very foundations of what we understand about civilization and human evolution. But what if we are on the verge of a new understanding, one that reconnects us with the ancient knowledge lost to time? Throughout the ages, human civilization has seen its peaks and valleys. From the rise of ancient Egypt to the fall of the Roman Empire, and even into the modern age, we've witnessed cycles of prosperity and decline. Yet, what if these cycles extend far beyond the scope of recorded history? What if the great civilizations we know were just the latest in a long line of human achievements that have come and gone, leaving behind only whispers of their existence? Could it be that advanced cultures on par with or even surpassing our own existed long before written history began? And what if their knowledge, their wisdom, and their technology are embedded in the very artifacts we dismiss as anomalies? Take a moment to consider this. We've discovered objects and remains that defy our understanding of technology and human ability. Objects that, if true, suggest the possibility of a society that had mastered tools, metallurgy, and perhaps even concepts we haven't yet fully understood. From metallic objects found in ancient coal deposits to human footprints discovered in rock layers that are millions of years old, the evidence is compelling. These discoveries don't just raise questions, they suggest that the human story is far older, far more complex, and far richer than we've been told. What could we learn from this lost knowledge? And more importantly, what might we be missing if we continue to ignore these anomalies? Now, imagine if we embraced these findings, if we allowed ourselves to explore the possibility that advanced civilizations existed long before us. It's not just about rewriting history, it's about reclaiming the wisdom that may have been lost to time. Think about the lessons we could learn from these ancient cultures. Could they offer us insights into sustainability, advanced technologies, or even philosophies that could help us solve today's pressing challenges? Perhaps they knew something about the cyclical nature of civilizations, understanding that every rise is followed by a fall. Perhaps they left clues for us, embedded in the very artifacts we've been overlooking for centuries. What if the missing pieces of the puzzle are not lost, but waiting to be uncovered once again? By questioning the assumptions we hold about our past, we open the door to an entirely new way of thinking. The idea that humanity's history is a series of cycles, that our progress could be part of a larger pattern, offers us a unique opportunity. We no longer have to view our civilization as the peak of human achievement. Instead, we can see ourselves as part of a much larger story, one that stretches back millions of years and one that is still unfolding. The artifacts we've explored may not just be relics of the past, they may be keys to our future, unlocking potential that we have yet to discover. So what comes next? The choice is ours. We can continue to cling to the narrow, linear view of history that confines our understanding, or we can embrace the possibility of a deeper, more interconnected past. Each artifact, each fossil, and each piece of evidence is a piece of a larger puzzle. To ignore them is to ignore a part of ourselves. But to explore them is to reclaim a lost legacy, one that may help us understand not just where we came from, but where we are headed. As you reflect on what we've discussed today, think about the implications of these discoveries. What would it mean for you to challenge the conventional narratives? To open your mind to the idea that history is far more complex and ancient than we've been taught? If this exploration has sparked your curiosity, then you're already part of the shift in perspective. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and don't let the mysteries of the past remain hidden any longer. If you found this video thought-provoking, make sure to subscribe and share it with others who might also be curious about the untold story of humanity. Let's keep digging, let's keep questioning, and let's uncover the forgotten truths that have been waiting for us all along.